Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm going to read through the majority of the article here. There's a link in the description. I will in a moment also give you a fairly detailed overview. Towards the end of the video, I'm going to read through a statement from the woman that you see in front of you, Brianna Shante Williams, that was read out on her behalf to the jury just prior to sentencing. And you may find that statement offensive. You may find it touching. Don't know, you might find it interesting. I find it at least interesting and worthwhile to consider, at least. So what's this about? Well, as you can see from the headline, former Navy petty officer willfully tortured and starved her 5-year-old daughter to death, and she learns her fate. Her fate is that she has been given a life sentence in jail from a Florida judge. So this woman's name is Brianna Shante Williams, 30 years of age, a former Navy petty officer from Florida. And yes, she's been sentenced to life in prison for killing her 5-year-old daughter, Taylor Williams. Now, the mother pleaded guilty to 1 count of second-degree murder in regards to her daughter's death, Taylor Williams' death. The prosecution called for a lesser sentence. They asked for approximately 20 years in jail. The judge, however, decided to give the maximum life sentence, life in jail. And the primary reason why the judge gave the life sentence is because the judge believes, although to be sure not 100% known, but the judge believes that young 5-year-old Taylor Williams starved to death. It is believed that she was severely mistreated. However, the forensic examination is not 100% clear in regards to the cause of Taylor Williams' death. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few details in regards to the discovery of Taylor Williams and the background leading up to her death. So November the 6th, 2019, the mother, Brianna Shante Williams, called the local sheriff's office, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, and reported her daughter missing. Taylor Williams has been missing, she says. And she tells officers that she woke up, her back door to her Brentwood home was left wide open, and she was panicked because Taylor Williams wasn't there. She didn't know what had happened. So an investigation ensued naturally, and a massive search effort was put in place to find 5-year-old Taylor Williams. And during this investigation, the mother became increasingly uncooperative with the officers. The officers were able to easily and quickly identify that they were being told lies, that there was a lot of inconsistencies with what they were being told in regards to the timeline of Taylor Williams going missing. Now, another thing that came to light during the questioning with between the officers and the mother, Brianna Shante Williams, is that the mother, shortly before Taylor Williams' disappearance, the mother traveled to Alabama, to a remote area of Alabama, and that too raised suspicions. Approximately 1 week, or slightly less than 1 week after the alleged disappearance of Taylor Williams, Alabama police officers discovered a body in a shallow grave. A few days following that, forensics were able to confirm that the body was indeed the body of Taylor Williams. Now, as I say, the judge in part sentenced the mother to life in prison as opposed to a lesser term in jail, because it's believed, not 100%, but believed that Taylor Williams was starved to death. One of the reasons for that is the last time Taylor was seen, she was considered to be particularly small and had lost a lot of weight. Also, the apartment where they lived was inspected, and it was disgusting. It was an abhorrent living abode, particularly for raising a child. So there was no sign that a child lived in the home. There was no toys, no nothing really to make it a pleasant environment for a child, other than a small bed, and the small bed was covered in urine, feces, and maggots. Also, the investigators at the apartment where they lived found blood splatter on the floor and on the walls. In addition, there was a putrid smell of bodily waste and human decomposition. A blood analysis confirmed that the blood splatter belonged to Taylor. So, by all accounts, the article doesn't spell this out, but by all accounts, it seems clear that Taylor was abused and severely mistreated at her home at the hands of her mother, who again pled guilty to murdering Taylor, her 5-year-old daughter. So it looks like young Taylor was beaten, forced to sleep in a disgusting place in her own filth, in a urine-soaked, feces-soaked bed, beaten, and potentially, ultimately starved to death before having her body dumped in a shallow grave in Alabama. Pretty disgusting. Sorry, I mean, the words don't equate the level of disgust. So as I said, there is a statement written by the mother, Breonna Shante Williams, which was read out by a representative, I believe a defense lawyer, just prior to sentencing. So I'm going to read through this. I don't know if I'm going to comment on it too much. Perhaps I probably will. So I'll read through this. So the following wasn't read out by the mother. She apparently was too emotional to read it out. But apparently she wrote it, and a representative for the mother read this out just prior to sentencing. I knew what I did was wrong. I failed as a mother, a protector, and as a decent human being. I didn't immediately call the police, and when I finally called, I lied, and I lied some more. I didn't take any timely opportunity to right my wrongs. I apologize to everyone affected by this tragedy. I'm tormented and punished every day since losing my baby. I tried to kill myself to escape the law. However, I'm not asking for any sympathy. I deserve everything I've received over the past approximately 3 years, externally and internally. I lost the most important person in my life. I lost myself. I accept full responsibility for everything. I voluntarily pleaded up to murder. I blame no one but myself. So that was a statement apparently written by the murderer, the mother, Breonna Shante Williams, read out by a representative for her just prior to sentencing. It's kind of emotional. It seems remorseful. There's an aspect of humanity within it. But thankfully, in this case, the judge from Florida stood firm, didn't allow such words, such emotional words, potentially manipulative words, to affect the sentencing decision, and held firm and gave her life in prison. So I do find that these words, the statement, I mean, perhaps I shouldn't state my opinion on it. I'm going to state my opinion on it, but I'm going to regret this. It's nicely written. It's nicely written. It's nicely written. It's expressive. It shows a certain level of humanity. It does seem remorseful. In all honesty, it seems to show genuine remorse. Again, I don't know if she actually wrote this or if somebody helped her or this kind of thing. I'm glad to read that she's tormented and punished every day. She should be. I'm glad she says she's not asking for any sympathy. She shouldn't get any, or she shouldn't get much. You know, and it says, I lost myself. Okay, good. You know, it says, I accept full responsibility. Yeah, she should. So, I don't know. This statement could be a lot worse. It's good that she's accepting blame. But should that influence the sentencing? I mean, I'm not a big fan of forgiveness. I'm not exactly a Christian. I don't believe in God, in all honesty. But I do appreciate Christian values. I grew up as a Christian. I grew up as a Catholic. I appreciate Christian values. But I've always struggled, or certainly for a long time, struggled with the notion of forgiveness. And I know that forgiveness is a cornerstone of Christianity. But to me, it's there's something very foolish and immature about forgiveness. I don't mean to be offensive in that way, in any way, but to me it enables enabling. It allows people to be given a pass. It encourages people to be too soft. It enables emotional manipulation. So I don't know. It's too reckless. Forgiveness is too reckless in my mind. I prefer a strong hand of authority. I don't want to become a complete fascist or authoritarian, but I think we need to be hard and fast about certain things, certain continued behaviors and certain extremely bad behaviors. And obviously this is as bad as it gets. So I don't think even genuine remorse, I shouldn't say I don't think. Let me rephrase. Genuine remorse absolutely does not do anything to reduce the suffering from anyone involved. Taylor suffered for perhaps the majority of her life. Her own mother, the one that was there to give her the love that a human needs, denied her love, showed her nothing but hate and evil. And here she is. Now she wants to be the nice guy. Now it's a bit too late, Brianna. It's a bit too late. You've done too much damage. Too much. You've killed your own child. It's not really too much more that needs to be said. So I'm going to wrap things up here, guys. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit, and take care.